Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Dev Drawer. Today I'm going to be going to show you how to spin up a fully working WordPress site using Docker with a single command. There's no setup, no manual database, no XAMPP, no MAMP, just one script and you're done. If you're a developer, you'll probably be in this situation before. Someone asks you to build a WordPress website, you want to learn how to build WordPress, or you just Google how to set up WordPress locally. And then you see a 47-step tutorial telling you to install Apache, configure PHP, set up a MySQL database, create the database, set up permissions, and then by step 12, you're probably questioning your career choices. Or maybe you use something like XAMPP or MAMP and those work, but they still install a bunch of stuff globally on your machine and they can conflict with other projects. And when something breaks, it's a nightmare to debug. Docker solves all of this. Each site runs in its own isolated container. Nothing gets installed on your actual machine. You can spin up a site in seconds and tear it down just as fast. And the best part, every developer you work with gets the exact same setup. No more, it works on my machine. That's what this script does. You run it, you answer a couple questions, and you get a fully configured WordPress website with its own database, admin account, and a URL you can open right in your browser. So let's see how that works. Okay, so let's get started with what you need. First thing, if you don't already have it installed, you can go to Docker's website and download Docker Desktop. So Docker Desktop is it's a pretty cool little tool that you can use that gives you the ability to view your containers. You can start, stop them, do all this stuff. I currently have it installed on my computer, so I won't reinstall it. But if you're at this step right now and you don't have it installed, you simply just download Docker Desktop for Windows, Mac, Linux, whichever one you're using it for, and it'll get it set up for you. So that's pretty much the only thing that you need in order to complete this tutorial and to be able to use this script. That's it, just Docker Desktop. If you're on Windows or Mac, just again download it here. Once it's installed, open it up and wait for it to finish starting. You'll see a little whale icon at the in the bottom of your desktop. It'll be just a little icon that looks like a whale with like little boxes on top of it. Once it's done animating, Docker's ready. Oh, before I forget, one other thing that you'll need is a terminal. So on Windows, you can use PowerShell. It's already built in. On a Mac, you can use the terminal app, and that's pretty much all you need. If you have VS Code like I do, then you can simply just open up the internal terminal for VS Code. Okay, so since I'm in VS Code, I'm going to go ahead and open up the terminal. And I have I put all the scripts on GitHub. So the link is in the description. You can either clone it with Git or just download the zip. So I'm going to do a git clone, and then I'm going to paste this. And I've already created a folder called Create Docker WordPress. So I'm just going to put it inside of the Docker WordPress folder. So we have these two folders here. One's for Mac, one's for Windows. You can use either one of them. They're pretty much the exact same thing. It's just one is written for Mac or Linux, and the other one is written for Windows if you're using PowerShell. But you can also use the Mac version on your Windows terminal as well if you have like Bash and stuff like that installed on your Windows machine. So we have that, and then we have this README file. This README file is pretty important. It gives you all the steps that I'm pretty much going to be going through. I'm not going to go over the actual like script itself, just because it's a lot and it does what it needs to do. If you know how to modify Bash file, you can actually come in here and you can modify it so it installs specific themes or specific plugins, whatever you want to do. But I'm not going to go over the code because you can just simply download it and use it. But if you read the README file, it just kind of goes through quickly how you actually like run the files, the information it's expecting, how you enter your information, and all that kind of stuff. So only thing you need to do is just read through the documents here, or follow along this video, and I'll show you how to use it. There's one other folder that will get created during runtime. It's going to be the sites. There's going to be Mac, Windows, and then a sites folder. The sites is just basically going to contain the Docker YAML file as well as any environment file variables that were used, just so you have them in one place. It does make it where it automatically generates the database name, user, password, and it all stores that inside of the env file. So if you name your site my blog, it will store it in sites my blog env over here. And you can also run this multiple times, so you can have 4 or 5 websites running at the same time, and each one of those have their own environment file and their own YAML file that's associated with it. Okay, so now we're going to create, we're going to use the Mac create, even though we're on a Windows, just because I can do bash. So let's do bash Mac create, and you run it. It's going to first check to make sure that Docker is installed and running. We're going to call this test site. And then the site title, let's just call it test site for the site title as well. We're not going to set a custom admin username and password. You can if you want to. Otherwise, it just uses admin and then generates whatever password, random password. So the admin email, I'm just going to put admin@example.com. And now it's pulling the latest WordPress and MySQL images. It's going in here and it's creating the database credentials. It starts by creating this folder here that I told you about earlier. And then it also installs Nginx proxy. Nginx proxy allows us to do whatever domain we created .localhost without you having to go in there and run localhost port 8000 or 8080 or whatever it is. And then as it's going through there, it's basically installing WordPress, running it, setting it. It says that everything's installed and configured, and this is all the information that you need to be able to log into it. So this is kind of where we go. Everything is up and working now. And I'm going to switch over and show you the Docker setup so you can actually see the Docker file running, and then I'll switch over to the browser so that we can enter in some of this information. So this is your normal Docker desktop interface. I have quite a few personal projects that I'm working on myself, so they're probably blurred in the background. But this is actually what you'll see whenever you start to run it. You'll see that it creates the, first it goes out and it looks to make sure that it's running, and then it actually goes in there and creates the database, and then it creates the Docker installation and all this kind of stuff. So you can actually see now we have test site with the DB running, as well as WordPress. We also can control it over here. We can remove it here. We can stop it. We can restart it. Do whatever we need to do with it. Okay, so back at the VS Code, we can see here we can access test site.localhost, and then we also have the admin password here. So if I switch over to my browser, we go to test site localhost, we can see that it's just a normal WordPress website. It has some dummy pages here, but we can click on this, which brings us to the sample page. And then if we go over here and type in WP admin, and then we go back and open up our code, we got admin, and then this is the password that they gave us. So now let's go back to the browser. So we do admin password, and we'll see that we're on the latest WordPress version. We can go over here and we can change the settings to it. This is a fully functional WordPress website. And it was just simply us clicking and typing in some information and running a very simple script. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how you get it installed and set up. And now we're going to show you how to break it down. Oh, one thing to note inside of the administration, by the script automatically disables your the ability for like Google to index your website. So if you need to, or when you publish it out, make sure that you change this search engine to discouraged just by unchecking this box. This is done by default, just so nothing on your server gets the possibility of being indexed until you're ready for it to be indexed. All right, so now that we have tested it, let's go all the way down to the bottom, and now we're going to run bash. Instead of create.sh, we're going to run delete.sh. And then if this has multiple sites, it'll list out all of the sites that are currently running or not running. You can either quit, or if you enter in one, in this case, it'll actually start delete that. But because it is a permanent deletion, you can't get any of the data back. It does ask you to confirm it. So we're going to go ahead and confirm. And now it is stopping the containers, and it should be deleted. The folder is gone. Like if we click over here, there is no more folder. And now if we open up our Docker again, you can see that the server that was created for this project is no longer there. So going back to this code, everything has been deleted. And I kind of want to go over like what the actual code is, without kind of breaking it down into like showing you how it's done. But just basically, if there's anything that you can learn from this, it's better. So even if you never modify it, understanding what it does will help you. So inside of the code itself, I put in some little information, as you'll see these throughout the code. So in order to show the color codes whenever you're running through the script, it shows you these. So we have our different colors set up, and then we're actually echoing out that this is the Docker WordPress site creator. First thing it's going to do is going to check to see if Docker is installed. If it is running, then it's going to check to see if it's installed, and then it's going to check to see if it's running. If it is running, then it'll just echo out that it is installed and running. If not, it's just going to exit out until you have both of these conditions met. And then it's finally going to go through the site's directory. So if the directory doesn't exist, it's going to go in there and create one. If it does, then it's just going to use that directory. The generate password is just the function that I used. These are helpers, so generate random password, title case, and then finally you get to the prompts. So the prompts ask you for the site name, the site title, ask you if you want to do custom administrative credentials. If no, then it'll continue down here where it generates WP user equals admin, and then it's using the generate password to create a function. Otherwise, it actually goes through here and it asks you what your admin username and password is going to be. Then it asks you for your email. And then finally, it generates randomly the WordPress credentials. You can change any of this at any time before you run the script in order to get it to do certain things. But again, if you don't ever modify it, it'll still work. But just kind of understanding what you can and cannot do would be helpful for you. Okay, finally, we generate database credentials. We create the project directory, create the environment file, ensure that Nginx proxy is running so that you can actually do the .localhost. If it's not, then it'll go in there and install it as a Docker container. And then finally, it outputs what your site URL is going to, or it gets your site URL, creates the Docker Compose file, which this is all the information that it needs in order to actually create the Docker container for this site. And then finally, it goes in there and pulls WordPress, MySQL, installs all the stuff that it needs to, going on down. And then it sets the information that you've set up. And then it prints the results, which gives you the little screen that we saw in the terminal that gives you your username, password, and all the stuff that you can do with it. And that's it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. For the delete itself, it's basically the same thing. Resolves the directory, lists existing sites, the sites that are found. It asks you which ones you want to delete. Then it confirms the deletion, and then it removes the containers, removes the sites, removes the folder, and that's pretty much it. For Windows, it's the same thing, so I'm not going to go through it. But if you want to, you can go in here and you can install additional steps. So you can install plugins, you can install themes. You can do stuff that you would normally do manually. You can automate the entire thing just by running this one script. So it's pretty simplified, and it makes it a lot easier for you. I mean, that's it. That's the whole script. Check Docker, ask a few questions, generate the file, start the containers, and configure WordPress until you're done using it and you're ready to push it out. And then you can duplicate it or whatever it is that you do to push out to production. And then you can delete the file or delete the site, and it removes it from your Docker container. Or you can just go inside of Docker itself and turn it off. So that's it. One command to create a full WordPress website with Docker. No manual setup, no configuration headaches. You spin up a site in under a minute and you tear it down just as quickly. This is the kind of tool I wish I had when I was starting out. And if you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe. I'll be making more developer tools like this using Bash, using Docker. I've gotten a lot more into Docker. I used to be using WAMP. WAMP was my thing. And then I switched over to my own server, but I also got tired of using a virtual server. So I started learning how to use Docker. And it is an amazing tool. So I'm going to start creating more More Docker tutorials that do things like this, where you can spin up a custom PHP site, make it to where you have one database or one PHP admin that ties in all of your sites to, make it where your setup is kind of like how I have mine set up. So anytime I want to start a new project, I simply just type in a few commands and it spins up a new project for me. So if you liked it, let me know. If you have any questions or if something doesn't work, like for example, in the very, very beginning, if you go to run one of these scripts, you might get if you're on Windows, especially, you might get an error about execution policy. That's just because Windows is cautious about running certain scripts. And inside of the README file, there is a thing that you can copy and paste and run in your Windows machine. Where's it at? So right here. So you can just run this one time and it'll actually execute the script as it is. Just, sometimes you get that error with Windows if you've never ran a script like this inside of your Windows machine, because it does kind of circumvent some of the, I guess, the security policies for your local machine. But it is something good to have. And again, if you liked it, leave me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or something just isn't working, you can always, message me on YouTube or just message me on the repo itself. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.